Hey, this is the Prophet with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet? Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Prophet to get some profit, we couldn't change the topic. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin', we chillin' in the drop. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket, by any means I rock. This is the Prophet with Nick Black, it's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the Prophet.
Hello. Okay, today we're just be a little different today. So because we're taping a lot of stuff today, I pre-taped this, and this is done Wednesday afternoon. Okay, we are going to do, I'm not a big fan of price predictions. I think they're mostly stupid. I mean, they're completely stupid because they mean nothing, but they are still fun. People have fun with them. And we did pretty good. So, you know, we had done some price predictions a while back. And I'm going to look on my little thing. So I keep track of what the old Crypto and Coffee community fund was. And the community fund started out at $89. And so it was $89 well, it wasn't even a year ago, was it? Jerry and I kicked this off. And I'll tell you what we had. We had Bitcoin, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum, EOS, God, VeChain, XLM, Zilliqa, which was not my choice, by the way, but the community had spoken. And what we did is we had a Patreon group. We all voted, these are the assets we have to have, and there we are. We had Link, we had Hedera, we had Casino Coin, Jerry, and we had Tron. Again, it was the community. It wasn't just me, but we had made some price predictions and we thought, okay, let's do this. So the whole thing was $89. You say, why $89? Well, that's how much we had in the Patreon. What I said, whatever you put in the Patreon, we're just gonna buy tokens with it. So we had $89 and we invested it. And so what that $89 was split into these assets, and it was balanced. We had weighted everything. And so, like, if I go back, I'm going to go back through this list because it's kind of a fun list. It was Bitcoin, which I go to profit and loss. We bought the Bitcoin when Bitcoin was $9,588, and we spent $15 on it. We got 615% return. 615% return. It's not bad, right? With $15, 615%. Okay, let's go to the next one. This will be interesting. I haven't really looked at these. Okay, Cardano was our second biggest pick. Let's see what our profit and loss is there. Cardano, we invested $16. We invested $16 and it went up 2,533%. And we bought an average price of 8.5 cents. And so we are at plus $428. So we did 2,500% on that. Also not bad. XRP. XRP, we did 555%. We bought at 20 cents. So it was when XRP was kind of essing the bed, so to speak. So we got 555%. I'm not a hater. We got on Ethereum. I bet we did good on this one. Profit and loss. We did 1,800 So we didn't quite do that, but we did almost just shy of 1,900%. We spent $5. Our net cost was $5. And so yeah, we did about a 19x on it, 1,900%. Pretty good. And this is over like the last year and a half. Again, you know, if you get into these assets and you dollar cost average, which is what we did, EOS, I don't think we did good on EOS. If I was going to, oh, you know what? We did 89% on that dumpster token. So we invested, our net cost was like $5. We bought it 280. There we go. Oh, and real quick, we were buying, what did we buy Ethereum at? We were buying Ethereum. Our net cost was at $242 a token. So there you go. For those of you that were like, where? VeChain. VeChain, we were buying at less than a penny, 0.7 of a penny. We spent $5.24. So that's kind of how we did it. We did a 2,400%. So 24x. VeChain. When you're buying it at a penny, it works. XLM. We were buying it at 7.8. So let's call it 8 cents. We did a 448%. It's not bad. Zilliqa. We did 400% on it. We were buying it at 2 cents. It, you know, and it's not 2 cents. It did it. So we did a 4x. That's not bad. It's not terrible for a year and a half. Link. We were buying Link at $4.32. So we did 744%. Not bad. 7.5x. Cool, bro. Hedera, we did 930%, almost our 10x. We were buying at 4.3 cents. Casino Coin, Jerry. Guess what? Even on that junky dumpster of a token, we made 800%. These are good numbers. These are good numbers. And so it just shows you what a year and a half can do. So the fund that started at $89 is worth $1,013. Is that going to set anybody's life on fire? No, but the contention was everybody's got $89 they can scrape together. And so if you add zeros, if this had been $890, you'd have 10,000. If this was 8,900, you'd have 100,000. If it was 89,000, you'd have 1 million right now. So, you know, and by the way, so the total value right now is $1,013, 770%, but it had gotten as high in April of this year, back when we had the big run, it got as high as 4,000. So it's 4 times higher. So we're in a ditch, and we still did a 770%, 776% total. So that just goes to kind of show you that, you know, being early is probably not a bad idea. And I still think everybody's early. So we're going to go through the list today. I am going to do some ridiculous. Well, I don't think these numbers are ridiculous, but I'm going to make some stupid predictions because all predictions are stupid. So full disclosure, this is dumb. This means nothing, but I'm going to get it on paper and I'm going to really get my gut estimate. Now, you say, oh, why is this guy with Smoke Guy here? Well, 1, he's badass. 2, by the time you're watching this, they're going to be getting very close to doing staking. You're going to be able to take your Samotes. This is Samote Club, by the way, for anybody doesn't know what this is. Let me see if I've got a cool little placard for that. And by the way, hello to everyone on Trading TV. That's cool. You know what? Let me make a little cool placard. Samote.club. Now, if you go to Samote Club, Samote.club, like www, Samote.club, and you will see you can mint these things. Matter of fact, I'll show you what it'll look like. You would be going here. You click the mint button, and it will take you. No, that's the bulls. Boop, 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 boop. Smoke Club. You click the mint button, and it's going to take you to the page where you can actually mint them. Right now, they are 0.4 ETH to mint them. So you say, well, that's expensive. 0.4. It's almost half of an Ethereum. That's a couple $1,000. Yep, that's right. To mint a brand new one. Now, where should you be going? Well, you would go to open. Hold on. Let me close that out. Okay. Go to OpenSea. And let me take you to the project itself. You go to Samote Club. Just look it up. Search Samote Club. SAMOT Club. Cool. What do you get? Well, one, you get some metrics, which is cool. 3,000 plus of these have been sold. There are 756 unique owners. The floor price, that means the lowest price that one is available right now, buy it now, is 0.12. That's looking a little better, isn't it? So you can pay 0.4, which a lot of people will. Why? Well, there you're getting a brand new and minted. Here you're buying someone else's. It's very likely that at the floor level, you're not buying something that is super rare, right? Something that is, but you're getting one. The cool thing is you're going to be able to stake these. So they're going to give you tokens. There's going to be Samote token. Yes, you're going to get tokens. You're going to be able to stake these, put them in a vault, do all sorts of cool things. It incentivizes the kind of behavior you want in the group. And there's all sorts of game theoreticals that go along with this. So I just want you to keep in mind that if you're looking for these and you want to load up for the staking, here's the way to do that. You go on to OpenSea. You do Samote Club, SAMOT Club. Cool. And again, this is with any project. This just happens to be the one that I am very excited about right now. Plus, it gets you whitelisted. If you stake your Samotes, you get whitelisted for future drops. And the way to win in NFTs is to be first. Now, this is all for disposable income purposes. You're not investing in NFTs. Why? Because you have to like the artwork. If you don't like the artwork, then what the hell are you doing, bro? Stay away from it if you don't have some disposable income. But if you do, and you like the artwork, I like the artwork, Central and South American artists that don't have exposure, that should get exposure, that's what Samote is all about, and promoting that inclusion and that identity and all that kind of cool stuff. I love these artists. So I would click buy now. It's going to give me a list. I select price low to high. Now, this is the floor. So instead of paying 0.4, I would urge you, if you just want to get the staking, if you want to stake the Samotes, get whitelisted for future projects. I think Pyramid is the next one that's coming. And you want to get the tokens, which is all this is coming like soon. They may or may not have announced this. Oh, they definitely have been talking about it in the Discord. You should also join the Discord for Samote Club because that's where you get all the nitty gritty. Well, what's cool is you can buy these on the cheap. Is 0.12 Ethereum cheap? Well, used to be. Is it now? I don't know. But if you like the artwork and the difference is 0.4, basically $2,000 versus 0.12, maybe about $400 or $500. I like $400 or $500 better than I like 2,000, right? Because all of these floor pieces will eventually be hoovered up. And you see pretty soon, 9 of these in, we're at 0.14. Then you go a couple few. Now we're at 0.16. You see where this goes? Pretty soon you're at 0.2. Pretty soon, just people hoovering up the floor. And all of a sudden, the aggregate price is 0.2. Now we're at $800. And you see where this can go. And if you like the artwork, then you should really like the idea that the value of your artwork can appreciate while you sit on it. Art throughout history has been used for the wealthy to hold value. Now, does this mean this project is going to be the one? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, bro. In the same way that we're about to do these cool price predictions, I don't know. Okay. But I like it and I like the art and I'm willing to sit on it. Okay, cool. Now, we're also going to talk a little bit about inflation in a bit, but let's talk prices. First, we're going to talk prices. Okay. And then we're going to talk about inflation because I hear just some really wrong-minded weirdness. But I'm going to do the price part first because I know that's all anybody really wants. I really should do the inflation discussion first. If I was wise and I ran a good show, which I'm neither wise nor good at show, but if I was, I would teach you something first and I would string you along to the end. But I'm not dickish. And I know most of you, then I get a thumb down. You're just making me watch the video, bro. Yeah, well, guess what? There's no advertisements. So how about that? You didn't get those dumb commercials served against you. And if you did, it weren't me. I don't monetize this channel. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it. So cool. And for those of you, if you're watching this on the 11th, you have like one more day. If you're going to put assets on Abra, okay, to game the little token drop, They take a snapshot on the 13th. So any assets you're going to put on there, and there's a link in the description for Abra. Set up an account if you're going to do this to game the token drop, CPRX. You're going to set up an account, put some stuff over there. They take a snapshot on the 13th, wait a day or two. If you like Abra, cool. You like the yields, cool. The yields are actually pretty good. It's comparable to Nexo. The difference is if they pay you less in the asset, like on Nexo, it might say 5%. This one might say 3%. They make up the difference in the CPERX token, which that's what I want because the tokens always perform really well first year. I'll make a prediction on CPERX. That'll be my first one out of the gate. How about that? First prediction. Should I do a banner? Ooh, that'd be cool. We could do a running banner with my predictions. Okay, let's do that. CPRX. I predict we are going to see $1.25, year one. Boop. Since we're doing predictions, why? Because these platform tokens always do really good. CPERX is going to drop at 15 cents. That's going to be the initial drop. Okay, so there you go. So you have to be on the platform on the 13th, meaning that's for the snapshot. I would, if you're going to do this, I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but if you're going to do it, I would plop those things on there today or tomorrow. You don't want to miss it by 13 seconds and be like, okay. So remember, if you're watching this at some later time, hopefully I haven't used gross amounts of profanity by the end of the video and I have to erase it. But if you're watching this video and it's past the 13th, this does not apply to you. Well, the price predictions will, but gaming the platform swaps to get the tokens would not. So, okay, cool. All right. Let's make some more predictions, shall we? So we're talking about Bitcoin. We're going into this whole cycle where they're going to start pumping up all the news about the halving, and everybody will say inflation, and everybody will say this and that, and fight the Fed, and all this kind of old garbage. Bitcoin a few minutes ago touched 69,000. So price discovery. Well, the whole crypto space is price discovery. So that's a dumb argument too. We're in price discovery. You're always in price discovery. Sometimes you discover the price is less. Oh, well. Sometimes you discover that it's more. Is anybody selling Bitcoin right now? Well, somebody is. That's how we're getting consensus. Somebody is exiting Bitcoin because they think either we've hit the top or it's coming down, or simply, you know what? I got to go buy some stuff. I go buy a house. I go buy a badass car. Should they be selling Bitcoin? No, you really shouldn't. You should be borrowing against your Bitcoin on one of these platforms like Nexo or Abra. But you've got to game that out. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your currency units. However, I will say this right now, the Bitcoin at 68,541 as I'm looking at it, who knows what it'll be tomorrow when you guys see this. We got basically a 1.3 trillion market cap. Pretty not bad. What do I think happens over the course of the next year? I think and this is important to me, this is the most important thing. We need a spot pegged, physically delivered ETF, not the dumpster juice we have now from ProShares, from Valkyrie, go down the list. Those are not real. Those are junk. They're futures pegged, and there's no demand for delivery. They're not real products. They're quasi products. They're garbage products. And they also charge stupid fees. Those ETFs will erode your currency units into dust, and they're not pegged to the spot price. And the company that launches them doesn't have to own any Bitcoin, and that's problematic. That means everything they do is quasi Bitcoin. It's funny money. Okay? Don't invest in funny money. Either buy Bitcoin or because of some reasons for IRAs, tax shelters, or wherever your money is currently parked on some trading facility, you can only access these kind of entities and things as part of the NASDAQ, NYSE, ARCA, whatever. Which I think Grayscale will become a spot pegged, physically delivered, right? Meaning the fund has to own Bitcoin to issue the shares against it. That's what we want. And I believe that will come in 2022 if it doesn't hit late 2021. Although my guess is Gary Gensler and team want to see how these other futures-based products perform. So if we get that, and I contend that we will, I think we see I'm going to write it down with a dollar sign. Oh, Here we go. BTC. I believe we see $150,000 Bitcoin. Now, could we pop up above that or down below it and all this kind of stuff? Yes. Do I subscribe to an end of year 2021 100K Bitcoin? I don't know, and I don't think so. The reason I don't think so has nothing to do with there's a bull off top, the bears, the bull, some kind of grappling of a bunch of idiots in leather suits, like all oiled up or anything. I mean, that's what I figure happens between bears and bulls, right? Well, I don't think any of those things. I just think that as the price goes up, it scares a lot of less intelligent investors, and they think, oh, it's too expensive. I already hear people saying Bitcoin's too expensive. Bro, you can buy a 100 millionth of a Bitcoin, a 100 millionth. It's a Satoshi. And Satoshis, they're super cheap. They're cheap, bro. So cool. So I think we probably see a sub $100,000 Bitcoin this year, but I do think we see $150,000 Bitcoin next year. Now, how high could it go? Well, it's percentage based. And if Bitcoin keeps doing these 3Xs to 4Xs a year, let's just do the math. Does Bitcoin do a 3X this next year in 2022? Well, we're at 70. That'd put it at 210K. It's quite possible. Remember, we were just $8,000 a year and a half ago. Less than a year and change ago. We were 8,000. Eight. So we did 350% already from 1 year ago today. 350%. We did another 350%. We're at $250,000. So I don't think this is unreasonable. So could we be at 250? Yeah, we could. We will see. Anyway, this is my price prediction. Accept it or don't. Let's talk about the Ethereum. Well, Ethereum there are a lot of problems with Ethereum. The price, my friends, is not one of them. I believe the NFT space will continue to thrive. I believe we will see a $12,000 Ethereum. You say, why, man? That's outrageous. Well, is it, man? We're up 983% this year. People aren't going to stop buying NFTs. Now, are there going to be other protocol layers that make life easier? Yeah, but there's also going to be other protocol layers that make it easier to use Ethereum, that reduce those fees, like Matic and things like that. So do I think Ethereum sees 12,000? Yes. That's less than a 3X, bro. That's like a 250% gain. That'd be about 1/4 of what it did this year. Could it be much higher? It can be. The problem is with Ethereum, and my worry is that as these fees grow grossly disproportionate to its utility, people are going to be forced to use other assets. They're going to be forced to run on Cardano, DOT, Algo, use Matic solutions, Cosmos, Near. They're going to be forced. And so I think that while the price of Ethereum will continue to expand, I don't think it will expand at the velocity some of these other assets. All right. Okay, let's talk Cardano. ADA. A lot of people are making in my opinion, very dumb-minded, very flawed price predictions, and they're not taking into account that there are tens of billions of Cardano tokens. And I am a huge supporter of IO and everything they're doing. I'm a huge supporter of Charles Hoskinson and the entire team of brainiacs over there. Really good community. Just for so many reasons, I'm in support of what they're doing. Financial identity, economic, inclusion, digital identity, and student records and medical records and real estate records and property rights and all these kind of things that just don't really exist in any kind of cohesive system in Africa or Central or South America. I believe Cardano is one of the companies, not the only one, but one of the companies that will solve many of these problems, these quagmires. But 32-ish billion tokens. Yes, most of them are staked. Cool. It's the most staked network by far, actually. But 32 billion tokens. So it's not so easy to just push the price around, right? Even if 90% are staked, okay? Means you still have about 6 billion tokens, so five to 6 billion tokens, but 80% staked, I think is the number. So you have 5 to 6 billion tokens. Well, that's still way more than 120 million and way more than 21 million or even the 2.1 quadrillion Satoshi if you want to go that way. So what do I think? Well, I think that Cardano sees, I wish there was a drum roll button. You know, we don't have a drum roll button, so you don't get that. So I think Cardano sees, let me get my dollar sign because I don't want to mess this up. Beep, boop, bop, bop. And there we go. $15. I think we see $15 Cardano. Could we see spikes higher? Yes, but those would be giant moves in the token. Giant. And that's already, listen, where I get 15, I think Cardano will start to absorb a lot of the potential future space in the smart contract space against Ethereum. You look at Ethereum at a $570 billion market cap, and you look at Cardano at 72. So, you know, to get us there to 60, 56, 8.5. So about an 8x. What does that get you? 16 bucks, 17 and change. So yeah, I think we could float around there. I think 15 is a reasonable and fair expectation if they don't S the bed as they move forward. I love Cardano, but nothing's guaranteed. So just be very careful that you don't assume they're going to take over the world by next Tuesday, because that's not realistic. And also, please keep in mind, one, these are nonsensical forward-looking thoughts, dumb thoughts. Two, Cardano doesn't give a crap about the price. Charles Hoskinson and the rest of the team at IO are trying to change the world, make the world a better place, and we get to appreciate with them, but they don't care about the price. This is all about use, utility, and adoption. It's important to keep that in mind, because if you don't keep that in mind, you will go in the wrong direction as far as your ability to reasonably predict what these assets should do. They're not trying to pump the token. And there's a lot of parlor trick BS about burning tokens and all these kind of shenanigans. They're not that. This is not that project. And if that's what you want, well, cool, but not these guys. Okay, let's talk Polkadot. Dot's a very interesting one. Why? Because I think we're about to see a lot of Polkadot leave circulation. Why? Because people are going to be pledging these tokens to the parachain auctions, which means they're locked up for about 2 years. Well, not about. It's 24 months. That's the lease. So they're going to be there for 24 months. And if they're there for 24 months, those are really out of circulation. Then you have the secondary effect of some of that DOT will get locked in DeFi. Then you have the next effect that some of that DOT is going to still be parked in traditional staking, people taking that 12%. Hell, Nexo's paying 15% right now. It's a teaser rate. But the point is, so there's going to be Polkadot locked in staking, Polkadot locked on these parachain leases, and Polkadot, well, private wallets too. You have some private wallet component, but also DeFi. DeFi is coming for Cardano. DeFi is what pushed Ethereum, well, and NFTs to new highs. So these things are important. What does that mean for Polkadot? Well, price-wise, I think it means $250 a token. You say, well, it's $51.05. Yes, I think it's going to do a 400 or 500% move. We were bullish. Many of us, not just me, were excited about Polkadot from when it was $3. I think my average, it doesn't matter. Smart contract investment makes a lot of sense. And listen, I'm not a fan of Solana. I think the team is weak. I think the community is sketchy, and basically the team is not just weak, dude. They go look up 12 million Solana stolen by developer. Don't even take my word for it. The devs tried to jack the community for 12 million tokens. They can say whatever they want. They've already been found out. They've already adjudicated all this. It happened. Go look it up. I don't like the team. I don't think they're that exciting. I don't think they're that clever. It is what it is. That's what makes horse racing, right? However, I don't not like the price. I'm not going to make a Solana price prediction because it's mostly been marketed. There's very little real use and utility. There's quasi adoption because The people at FTX are pumping it everywhere, and they're launching all these projects, and they're copying as many projects as they can. They had the Solana punks, got sued. They had the Solana. There's like 3 different projects that Solana directly hacked, basically copied. So what it turns out to be is that Solana is just a better knockoff factory than Tron was, which has got to really frustrate Justin Sun, right? If you're Justin Sun, you're like, they've out-troned Tron. So Sam, good job. It's kind of like Skechers. It's not really a shoe company. It's a marketing company. And the product they sell you is shoes. Skechers was always a marketing proposition. And this is that. Okay, so I'm not going to make a prediction on that because I just don't care. Certain things I just won't be a part of. But let's talk about Algorand. Algorand is very interesting to me. It's a really good team. They have a lot of vision. The community's cool. I don't have anything bad to say about Algorand. It's just people kind of ignore them. Are there going to be a lot of stable coins built and running on the Algorand rails? Probably. I've heard a lot of people the developers that I trust looking at Algorand, with, fever, like, ooh, this is really cool. I like what they're doing. So I would say it starts to catch a bid as people look for quality assets in the protocol layer space. So for me, Algo at sitting around $2.20. Well, who knows what it is when you guys see this, but sitting around $2.20, my guess is that is a $25 token. $25 token by this time next year. So again, we're looking at 2022. So listen, don't come with your freaking pitchforks and your little bonfires to light me on fire until December 31st. I get all year to nail these. Then you want to roast me? You guys want to pull up this video? Great. We'll talk about how I knew nothing. I'm so stupid. But until then, this is just a forward-looking, ridiculous price prediction. Let's talk about Matic. So what's going on with Matic? Well, Matic is interesting. Matic helps. Polygon is a cool network. The fees are great. It's just not a lot of people are leveraging it just quite yet, but you can't argue the price action. Price action has been great. Done 10,000%. Is it going to do 10,000% next year? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to do another 100x. Okay. A lot of these tokens, when they get out of the gate at a few pennies, not everybody's really getting no one's buying it at 2 cents, except for early SAFT investors or early token, seed investors, things like that. It's starting to get where not everybody has access to these early launches, and you can't go buy every project that's cheap thinking that because it's cheap, it's going to go up. Cheap doesn't mean anything. It's value. And sometimes it takes a while for a value proposition to be clear. Otherwise, it really is just venture kind of guessing, right? You look at the team and you hope that they've raised enough money to get somewhere consistent and make that argument to the market, which it gets harder and harder to make that argument to the market that you deserve to be there. So what do I think for Matic? I think that they help a lot of projects, not just Ethereum, but I think they definitely help Ethereum. And for that reason, my guess is we see, and I will show you, $12 Matic, which is cool. It's at $1.86. That'd be dope. That is what my guess is. Okay, these guesses mean nothing. VeChain. Oh, VeChain. Oh, VeChain. Problem with VeChain? China. So what I liked about VeChain is now what I don't like about VeChain. What I liked about it was China. Logistics, anti-counterfeiting, product management, tracking of goods and services and all this kind of stuff. Yes, censorship. Yes. And all this kind of cool, not censorship. Yes. I mean, being able to defeat censorship and all this kind of whatever. There's all sorts of cool things about VeChain, except China. China is VeChain's problem. China is already almost a $12 billion, market cap token. And is there another 15x in VeChain? I don't know, man. But when these markets start to move, they can move. And people do look at cheaper priced things and they derive some value. So what do I think it can be? I think VeChain this time next year. And I got to put a 0 because otherwise this is going to look stupid. I think 50 cents. You're like, no, man, it can go way higher. Yeah, it can do a lot of things, but but to me, that's where the value is, about 50 cents. And I'll tell you this, I get anywhere near 50, bro, my name's Bennett. I ain't in it. I'm taking some off the table. Could it go much further in some kind of, listen, it already hit 25 cents. I just don't think there's a lot of value there. So my value proposition is, that's it, 50 cents. Prove me wrong, VeChain in China. Cosmos. Let's talk Cosmos. We like Cosmos. One, anybody that transitioned the Fetch, the native Ethereum token, over to Cosmos, how fast, elegant, clean, simple is it to use? Holy crap, Cosmos is easy, bro. It's cheap. Fees, I haven't even seen a fee yet. I don't even know if they're measured pennies yet. Cosmos works. Now, does that mean it's going to get use, utility, and adoption? It's getting some use, utility, and some adoption. Is it going to be a world breaker? I don't know. I don't feel like the Cosmos community maybe separates themselves enough, but look at Cosmos Station and how great Cosmos Station's cool. It's a really cool. You can set up all these different wallets. It's a very efficient token. They've made it very elegant. Does that mean developers are going to go build on it? Well, there will be some Cosmos apps and things that are launching on Fetch. It's very likely they will most likely at least initiate through Cosmos. But what does that mean for the future? Well, I think safely there's going to be a lot of investment into layer ones. I mean, smart money, you first go into Bitcoin, then some idiot convinces you of Ethereum, right? And then the price goes up and you go, okay, but then you start looking at your money a little bit closer and you go, okay, what's going on here? And you start realizing the value of layer ones, protocol layer investment. You start saying, okay, this is something I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into. And so, and with that, so here is my price prediction for the Cosmos. I think we see $200 Cosmos. Plus the staking's pretty not bad. Is it as good as Polkadot? No, but it's cool. Listen, if you have Fetch, you're getting 21% right now. 21% in an asset that people are basically overlooking. It hits $1 every now and then, but it hasn't done anything super dramatic. So we'll get there. Okay. On a few of these, I'm not going to make price predictions. Filecoin, I don't know. Filecoin, again, it's big China. It's incredibly important. It's necessary for humanity, but I think there's a lot of other ways this kind of thing will be achieved, and I don't know if Filecoin is the answer. But it's a good team. So, and they've had some snafus as far as governance. We'll see. Theta, I don't have any idea how to price Theta. I don't know if it makes sense. I don't know if Theta makes it. I hope, but I don't know. I'm not sure, I guess. I'm not saying that the business is not cool. I'm saying I don't know if the token, if people go, yeah, Theta is so amazing that I want to keep pushing this price up. To me, I'm not sure I am comfortable with an $8 billion market cap on a relatively overlooked platform. Now, I use Theta. I like Theta. It's dope. But just because Nick and a few of his buddies use it, that is not a value proposition. We are statistically immaterial. Okay. 1 inch. 1 inch seems to be doing good, but I'm worried. I'm not going to give a full price prediction on some of these because 1 inch, I'm a little bit worried that maybe they're going to get watered down by all the other swap platforms. Also, guess what? If you're an American, you can't even use 1 inch anymore. So I'm out. I don't really, you know what? I'm actually so out of 1 inch. I'm taking it off the list. Bye, boy. So it's gone. Near, however, I will talk about. So I'm very excited about Near. It's one of my favorite projects. This is something where if you like where Ethereum 2.0 might go, well, Near is already there right now. Near is a Coinbase venture. Near is not listed on Coinbase. What do you think is going to happen when people start looking at these assets? What do you think is going to happen when Coinbase, they've already told you every quarter they're going to reinvest. Some of their net is going to go back into their projects. So 10% of their profit, whatever profit, I know they just turned in a bad quarter, but whatever profit they make, 10% of that's going to go right back into tokens. I wonder which tokens they'll buy. Okay. Are they going to take a nod for, like, look at what Sam Bankman Fried Chicken is doing and just buy up your own assets, get other people to buy up your own assets, pander to the lowest common denominator? Yeah, probably. What does that mean for near? I think that means, $85 near. Okay. Watch the whole market. S is the bed, and these things are all cut in half. I think that means $85 near. Now, you could see some massive flow into one or two of these assets, but I still believe that the greater story is multi-chain, cross-chain, use, utility, and teamwork. I think a lot of these chains, for instance, if you're launching a company, why would you limit yourself to any one blockchain? It wouldn't make any sense. You want to use the best of everything. You shouldn't, as a company owner, you shouldn't be religious. You shouldn't be married to any of this crap. You should say, listen, I'm going to use every single protocol layer that's going to give my business proposition the greatest chance to propagate outward. I want the best exposure. I want the best user experience. I want my customer to have the leanest, most elegant transaction. Whatever I say I'm going to do, whatever service I provide, I want it to be clean and fast and efficient, and the fees should be dust, because that's the good side of deflation. That's the technological deflation of better software, better hardware, and better code. I guess that's embedded in better software, isn't it? So that's what I think gets us there. Now, it starts getting a little tricky. Graph token, I'm not going to make a price prediction because I just don't know how to measure. This is a 1.5 layer. It sits in between dApps and kind of protocols, and I just don't know how to price these things. Flow, I will do a prediction for Flow. Flow's taken on a lot of money. Flow is protocol layer exposure to NFTs. They have a deal with the NFL. They have already a deal, NBA Top Shot. So they're dealing with the NBA. And they've taken on tons of cash, over $500 million in cash. They got a good runway. They seem to have a good business model. I keep buying these stupid packs. I never even get them. Basically every other week I get denied, but I still line up like a rube to get my dumb little moments because I like them, and I'm a rube too. Everybody is a rube on some level, and I'm an NFT rube. Well, so what does Flow look like? I think Flow probably gets, let me do my little dollar sign. I think Flow gets $50. Okay. Is that groundbreaking? No, they were already in the high 30s. But I don't think Flow's going anywhere. I think they will increase their efficiencies. I think it's going to do fine. I'm going to stay away from AR Weave. I'm not going to predict it. I'm not going to predict Harmony. I'm not going to predict Rune, because every time the price gets up and they launch something, the platform melts down. Listen, this whole idea of multi-chain, interchain operability and all this, it's coming, but maybe the foundational plumbing is not there yet. Maybe some new valves and some new pipes and some new pipe fittings haven't been created yet. That code, good code solves many problems across the kind of panoply of different assets, right? Because most of this stuff's open source, and open source projects help everybody, right? So I don't know how to price Thorchain, Rune, but I know that even after they got beat down to $3, they made a nice recovery. So I'm not going to price that one. Nexo, it's an exchange token. I'm not going to price it. I don't know how high Nexo can go. I guess it can keep going if you incentivize the kind of behavior you want on the exchange. I don't know why, if you don't use Nexo, I don't know why on earth you would hold the token other than to incentivize rewards on Nexo. So I don't know, man. I don't even know how to price that. Should it be $4? Should it be $40? Do you get profit from Nexo, the company, because you own Nexo? And is it profit sharing? Kind of, but not directly. Nexo it's not a security. You don't appreciate with the success of the platform. They give you back more Nexo, but it's a funny money token. They print it out of thin air. So I'm not even going to predict it. OGN, no clue how to price it. I think it's undervalued, but again, I don't know what the value should be. I feel like they've failed to make a compelling argument to the public to own the token. Telcoin, I can tell you this, the dudes that work there are weirdos. This is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just The only dude I know that's a developer over at Telcoin, I met him at one of the Cardano events. The guy was drunk the whole time. He was high before he got there, and he's a weirdo. I wouldn't loan that dude $4. So I'm going to stay away from Telcoin because since it's cheap, people might pour into it because if it's cheap, it must be good, right? My name's Bennett. I ain't in it. We will talk about Fetch. All right. What's going on with Fetch? Well, Fetch is it's one half of the two-pronged AI investment sphere, which is AGIX and Fetch. Fetch has ties to Fireblocks, which has ties to BNY Mellon. Fetch is launching all of these verticals underneath it. You saw MetalX, you saw Atomics, which I don't even know I still don't understand Atomics, and I have some coins that I can't swap because it's completely illiquid, but hopefully in the future. I got out of MetalX, free coins, I put it back into Fetch. I'm trying to get out of Atomics to get more Fetch. I care about Fetch. Fetch offers 21% staking. And there's some cool things that they're doing. Mobix is one of them. You're getting free Mobix tokens right now if you're so there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons to like Fetch if and only if you like the AI space and you think that that's a direction. And again, none of this stuff is you don't need to have these assets if you like what they're trying to say. If you understand and you look at the team and the token and the timing of their business proposition and the tokenomics, right? Who owns what and who's incentivized, who has cliffs, which tokens are locked. And you look at the movement of the token. Does it make, what rails is it running on? It's running on Cosmos. So that's super efficient. Fees are cheap. Could you build a big giant network of autonomous economic agents, these agent networks on top of Cosmos? Yeah, I think you probably could. And I think that more and more that discussion is going to be had. So where I see Fetch, I think Fetch is going to pull a pretty big move this year. I think Fetch goes $15. And yeah, it's at $1. And you're just getting the most ridiculous staking. So for me, there's a lot of reasons. And also look at the market cap is so tiny. I mean, we're less than $1 billion market cap on Fetch. Fetch has achieved a lot more than a lot of there's no reason on earth that Telcoin should be market capped higher. But again, you look at how many tokens are available, then you start making the argument. There's not even a barely over 1 billion total Fetch tokens. You have 100 billion Telcoins. So, a fly can land on the sell button and, the price of Telcoin can go up by 20 or 30%. And so price is not a way to judge these assets. And yet here we are doing nonsensical price predictions. Okay. Audius, I'm going to stay away from it. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it. I do own Audius, but it's house's money and I'm just going to let it play out. Cool what they're doing, these kind of decentralized idea about Spotify, and cool the integration with TikTok, but does it move the needle? I don't know. I don't think so. Price-wise, it has done good this year, but it's because it's first year out of the gate. So yeah, 17x. Will it do a 17x next year? I don't know, and I can't price it. I know that it's got a low market cap, and it does have some utility, so we'll see. But short of some massive forced onboarding and platforming, I don't know, man. I still think they need the kind of partnership that equals utility of the token. I don't know what the utility of the token is. You get it, you stake it. Staking is not utility because they're paying you back in their magical token that they printed out of thin air. So I don't know what the utility of the token is if we're being honest. They can say, oh, artists can use it to put their music in and people can use it to play. Yeah, well, okay, cool. But Spotify is free. So, right, if I listen to like 30 seconds worth of ads, I get it for free. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't use Audius. I don't know anybody that uses it to actually, absorb music. So until that changes, or until there's a compelling reason to use it, I don't know. Render. I like Render because of Beeple. I don't like Render because of the team. Funny story. I got kicked off of the Telegram group for Render because they had announced some Solana partnership, which is stupid. And I said, why is that interesting news? Of all the platforms, of all the protocols you guys could have teamed up with, why would you align yourselves with that one? Oh, because it's trendy and cool and Sam Bankman-Fried. And when I see that kind of behavior, when you're hunting for the shiny toy, then you're not thinking about the actual project. On the other side of it, the people that Render are dope. You have really good supporters, really good early investors. You have people, you have JJ Abrams. The idea of having the community help you render high density content, that's awesome, bro. That's cool. They're going to be doing things with the kind of holographic imaging and these screens that look 3D as you move around. The tech is wicked. But is this kind of behavior is not something I'm comfortable with. I also think render will get out-rendered by NewNet, which is going to launch under Singularity Net. Okay, so I'm not going to give a price prediction, but I'm going to hold on to it. I'm on the house's money. I sold my original investment about a month ago. So I'm emotionally out of it. I'm going to let it ride. And cool. It was, for me, I thought, well, honestly, I thought if I own some render tokens, maybe I'll get a shot at a Beeple NFT that other people can't because they don't own the token or something. I don't know. That was my little game theoretical. There we go. Singularity Dao. It is something I'm going to do a price prediction on because they are doing a couple things. One, they're the Launchpad is a product where new vertical projects that launch under Singularity Net will be launching through Singularity DAO's Launchpad. Is that enough for a business? No, that's a feature, and it's a feature that honestly could live on Singularity Net. So that's not at all exciting. But what is potentially exciting is that Singularity DAO has a product called Dynasets, these dynamically managed asset pools and asset pairings, where AI, and at least in the beginning, humans and AI are going to co-manage assets, but AI is going to eventually dominate. I think it will dominate all these financial markets. And so these are a first look at what the future might look like. This is a zero-sum game for Singularity DAO. If they get this right, okay, so I'm going to put two prices because I think they're both as valid. Singularity DAO is going to be one or the other. So my guess is that Singularity DAO is either going to be $40 per token. Tiny, tiny market cap, bro. The 66 million, really? Look at the whole. Look at Singularity DAO. 28 million tokens. There's such a tiny amount of tokens. The staking, by the way, on Singularity DAO, they have a 6-month locked up, a 3-month lockup staking, and then they have an open staking where it's not locked. The 6-month is paying 50.7%. Again, they're paying it in their tokens, so let's not get too over our skis, but that's exciting. If you like it, 50% is dope. The 3-month lockup is 37%. No, sorry. 41% almost. 41%. And then the staking that's not at all locked up is about 35%, which is still super effing good. So I like the project. I like the team. It's underneath Singularity Net. The community, the management team, almost non-existent. We were going to have all sorts of cool interviews with the team from Singularity DAO, but they didn't like some of the questions I was asking in their Telegram. They didn't like some of the questions I asked when I wanted to get some clarity on what their actual product was and what Dynasets are actually, and why are they any different than the AEA system over at Fetch? And they said, well, that's not a good comparison. I said, cool. I would like you to come on the show and tell us why we shouldn't be purchasing Fetch. Why should we be purchasing Singularity DAO? How are Dynasets going to make the world a better place? And I'm sure they have answers to all these things, but they got a little bit under their skin when I asked a lot of these questions. And then they decided, first they canceled an interview, like within a day before the interview after I'd all set it up. And then they said, okay, no, we're going to do this interview, Marcelo. We're going to do this interview, which, by the way, to be fair, very nice guy, has zero management chops. Come on, man. I get it. Ben, buddy, Dr. Gortzel, great idea, great concept. I know you put the right designers behind it, Chris and such. I'm not sure if the management team structure is what you want right now. And I think if you had time to audit their progress and their outreach, you might be less than comfortable. I am less than comfortable with the management team. Okay. But we're talking about the token. So I think if Dynasets do well, or they at least don't implode, you see a $40 token, easy, tiny, tiny little, there's not a lot of tokens, bro. There's just tens of millions. So there's not like billions and billions of tokens. It's tiny. And the price on a tiny, look at what happened to Compound, Aave. Look at all these tokens with a relatively low count. Look how fast they move. It's not the Shiba thing. You don't have to make 100 gazillion tokens and they're 0.001, and then everybody's fighting for that next zero like a bunch of rubes. Sometimes you can have a quality product with a less token float, because the idea is some kind of appreciation. Anyway, whatever the case is, if Dynasets do well, that's a $40 token minimum. If Dynasets S the bed, it's probably a 10-cent token. It could go to dust. I mean, it could actually be dust, like zero. It could look like Shiba if Dynasets fail, because guess what? For Singularity DAO, it is all or nothing. There is either Dynasets or dust. Dynasets do well, you win. Dynasets don't, dust. Effing dust. Be careful on this one. This is like one of those, you remember Flash Gordon when he put his arms in the thing and it would sometimes it would sting you and kill you. The little creature on the inside that was like a frog with a stinger. And sometimes you'd put your arm in. That was like a manly way of having a competition or whatever. Put your arm in. Zing, or whatever his name was, the guy with the funny whatever. Like, this is that. You put your arm in. You might pull out a $40 token. You might also pull out just a bunch of dust and an IOU where your money went to die. I'm just hoping that the team at Singularity Net is smarter than all of us, and I think they are, and that they're managing this from afar, that they're actually playing the puppet role. Because if I look at Marcelo and the team of admins, I'm not confident. If I look at their behavior and the way they dodge interviews and their kind of public outreach, I'm even less confident. But if I try to assume that these are just people, puppets doing the bidding of the upper echelon Singularity Net staff, I'm a little bit more calmed by that. Okay, so there we go. Matrix AI token, it's a dumpster token, but it goes up or down 20-30% in a day. It's a good place to trade. Tiny market cap. It's been as high as $1 and change. Just be very careful on this asset. I'm not going to make a price prediction because it could be $2 or it could be -2. Like, you could get gutted on this thing real fast, real hard. So I don't know what this thing's worth. I don't have any idea how to judge it. And mostly it just gets pumped on nascent exchanges and then ends up creating a pump over on Kraken. I mean, sorry, KuCoin. So tread lightly. Songbird, I don't know. It'll probably pump later this year before their little token drop, but it's mostly useless token other than kind of qualifying for some Flare airdrops, which is another mostly, again, let me reiterate, it's a really cool, the Songbird, the Flare community, it's actually a really cool community. I was surprised by how nice, I look at the Telegrams and the Discords, cool admins, cool team. They're actually really cool dudes and dudettes and whatever pronouns. So this isn't me assaulting their team. The team is fine. They all seem like very decent people. But when you say why token, I don't know if there's an answer. So I'm going to skip it. The last one I'm going to talk about is AGIX. So let's get out here with our AGIX prediction. AGIX. I believe AGIX, because of a lot of game theoretical reasons, this will seem a little bit dramatic, but I believe AGIX is a $25 token this time next year. There is no better team. There isn't a better group of intelligence than the Cardano plus AGIX team of Charles Hoskinson and his team at IO and the Cardano Foundation and an incredible community of, and if you think, oh, well, yeah, bro, because I think that's the best project. And then when you take the best project in AI, because I think the minds, the brain power over at Singularity Net, it donkey stomps everyone else in AI. Everyone else is what? Matrix, scammy AI, and the well-intentioned, but a little bit, let's face it, simpler minds over at Fetch. Not to detract. Cool that they're getting stuff done, but the way they did their token migration was incredibly stupid. People lost tokens and this and that, and it was gummy and dumb. It's a lot better now, but it's still like you don't even have the native Fetch token on all the exchanges. You don't know what you're getting. It's just it can be a kick in the nads. Growing pains, right? And then you look at AGIX. Yes, they need to port over. They need to get the Cardano transition done. But if you look at the team, it's starting at Ben Gortzel, and you look around, I just don't think there's a better team that's going to advance humanity across the chasm between artificial intelligence, where we're at now, and artificial general intelligence. And that's a whole other discussion for a whole other day. So I think this is probably a $25 token. You will see as these new projects start dropping and the staking rewards start dropping, because you own AGIX, you get NewNet, you got Singularity Dao, you're going to get Rejuve, you're going to get Sophia Dao, you're going to get Mindplex, you're going to get Hyperon, which is actually true AGI. So, I mean, a lot's coming. Every one of these verticals, you're going to get stake, you're going to get airdrops because you own AGIX. Now, is the Singularity net staking good? No. It's dumpster juice. It's terrible. It's like less than 1%. It's so terrible, but it doesn't matter. They're not trying to goose the coin with staking rewards. They're trying to create a network where you're incentivized to hold the token to support the network. They want to create a big, giant marketplace for AI resources, data scientists, brainiacs, and people using this system to, if you have a company and you want to onboard some AI resources and you want to do some things with your company, and, they're creating all of the ways that you could move humanity to artificial general intelligence, or something that looks like synthetic intelligence or super intelligence, or whatever person you listen to, their version of whatever the Singularity looks like. My guess is the team most likely to achieve that is the team at Singularity Net. So I want to be a part of that. There. You know what? Oh, you know what? We're not going to be able to talk about inflation. Dang it, the time ran out. I guess we know what our discussion is going to be for next week. Anyway, there you go. So stay out of trouble. Here are my price predictions. Again, one more time. The C-Perks token, it's just kind of random, but I think it sees $1.25. Bitcoin at 150K, Ethereum at 12,000, ADA at $15, Polkadot at $250, Algorand at $25, Matic at $12, VeChain 50 cents, Cosmos $200, Near $85, Flow $50, Fetch $15, Singularity DAO either at $40 or 10 cents. I probably should have made that 1 cent, because if Dynasets blow up, there's no value for that token. That thing is a goose egg. Is there a lot of risk there? Yes, it's all or nothing. And Singularity Net, $25. Whew. How about that? It was a straight hour of gunslinging. Stay out of trouble. Stay in school. As you guys know it probably better than me. Don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk strung it on meth grandmother wouldn't do. And that's not much.